Hey friends, my name is Kate and I want to welcome you to Dottie May Vintage. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I have going on here in a minute, but I wanted to start off by telling you that we're going to begin our video today heading over to California, where I spent Thanksgiving with my family. We had so much fun, and one of the things that my sister and I did, and I did with my kids, was some thrifting and some antiquing. So let's start off by heading out to California, Santa Barbara area, and doing a little bit of sourcing. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what we have for you in the Etsy shop. So this little spot was our first antique mall, and it is fantastic. There are so many different vendors. So I came in here just to see what the pricing was like, what kinds of things they have. I always look at hankies, and it's kind of a benchmark price. They had them for $5 each. I usually see them $3 or $4, but that was fine. They had some really cool Disney pins, which isn't surprising because it's about a couple hours from Disneyland. Love the dogs. Always looking for dogs. Stunning needlepoint on an easel here. Definitely, it's Victorian. Really beautiful for $2.25. I have two beautiful pilgrim glass vases, $35 each. They're signed on the base and they still have their original sticker. Such a sweet bronze here of the little girl and the cat. This one is at $2.98. I love these little Santas.
They're
the little hinge trinket boxes.
no, yeah, but they're the ones they fit inside each other. Those three.
Oh, the nesting
together.
ones?
Yeah, the nesting ones.
Oh, they're
they go together.
so cute. What do you have on those? You know?
118.
They're fantastic. Are they Limoges?
Mm-hmm.
They're beautiful. So this is a little hand-painted piece made in Nippon. Well, marked Nippon, obviously, it's Japanese. The thing about these pieces is that they're all really unique. I love that painting. They have this for $38. And look how different it is around the edges. I think that's really cool. All items $5. Oh, well, let's take a look. So we've got some lovely little treasures in here. Of course, the blue ducks are back. If you're named Mary, I should pick that up for you, but let's see what we see here. I love the Santa Barbara Courthouse on this. This is a little guide by the Auto Club. It's kind of fun. But since this is not where I'm selling, maybe not as saleable. What else have we got in here? Tell me if you see something that you would pick up. Oh, he's cute. He's upside down. Let's look here. Lots of little beaded pieces. Now this is interesting. I wonder how new it is. Doesn't show a lot of wear, but it's really cool. A little bit faded. I might pick that up. What's this? I think this is made out of some kind of light wood. That's really pretty. For $5? Just use it as a little trinket box. I don't know that it's old, but it's really cool. Very eclectic collections. This is a beautiful little piece of art. It's up in Santa Ynez, $3.25 on this for this little oil painting. They have this big ruffly carnival glass in marigold for $18. That's about what I would see it for. I was interested to see if the pricing would be much different here. And I think it's about the same. It's definitely a higher end antique store, but some of the pieces are really good and very much at below a retail price. Very cool little Sasha Brostoff planter of the poodle for $48. So cute. Some really good Kakeshi dolls. They're ranging in price from $25 to $48. I appreciate how international this collection is. There's so many fascinating pieces from all over. They still have their Toby jugs priced about $100. I don't know how well they sell anymore, but they are really cool pieces. We have these really wonderfully heavy brass candlesticks. They are $32 for the pair. It's a good deal. I love this little art glass paperweight. Love the fish swimming around. I'm putting together a whole fish collection for the summer. This is at $25. It's really cute. What a beautiful painting. This is only $89. I just love the focus on the child's face. It's really beautiful. Okay, I know we're almost to Christmas, and my booths are stuffed with Christmas, and I have so much other Christmas, but look how cute these are. I love this little blown glass pup. It's only $5. It's so cute. I think I've said so cute like 40 times already, but hello. Little chip, but no, actually, is it chip? It might be. It just might be his mouth. I like the Santa too. The very jolly Santa's $8. And then we've got a bunny with kind of mixing the seasons here. I like that bunny. I like all of these. I pretty much just love Christmas. Love these lions. So much expression. Of course, this dog. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get any info on him. I could look at this lion while I'm looking at this one. Yeah, he's a rare Staffordshire. That is so cool. $115 for him. So much to see. I have got to not buy too much Christmas. I don't know, am I going to buy any Christmas? I really shouldn't. But they have some really great stuff here. Okay, if you were going to pick one of these to take with you, which one would it be? Very cute little Marianne Baker pigs, salt and pepper. They're $15 but marked as is. We have an entire herd of creamers over here. Got a white one and some, this one is $12. That little vintage white creamer. We've got some brown, some black and white. Let's see what we've got here. Vintage red cow for $12. I think these are all $12. Really cute. So much fun. $10 for this little German cat. Super cute. And this little guy is not priced. But you know I love dogs. I love how this etched glass is displayed. You can see the light through it. The beautiful etched work here. They have this set of 4 pinwheel cut crystal wine glasses for about $75. I love how you can see them so beautifully here. And they have some of their other cut glass up here. But it's great how they get it up out of the shadows so you can really see. You know, the thing about cut glass is the lighting was much worse at that time in history, and so of course you needed something that would reflect the light, and that's what these do so beautifully. Another fantastic little bowl of Christmas ornaments. I want to say 2 things here. One, if you've got a big, beautiful clear glass bowl, display Christmas ornaments in it. Don't they look fun? And then also, when it comes to getting new ornaments, something you haven't seen before is always a good idea. I'm loving this little angel with her Christmas tree hat, or choir girl. $7. Very sweet. I was all ready to check out. Then the lady said, "We've only been one way." And I said, "What's the other way?" And apparently there's an entire other area that I had not yet checked out. So, ooh. Lots of cool books. But I am traveling. We're not going to do books and art, but the art in here is priced fairly, but a little bit priced up. Okay, as soon as I say that, I find this piece for $12. It is as is. It is signed. It definitely has some damage down here, but look how cool that piece is. I have never found an abacus before, and I know people who find them all the time. This one's priced at $24. It's very cool. Okay, this is so sweet, and I'm pretty sure I had this bunny. I have a piece of glass very similar to this. French opalescent glass dish for $16. And then this one has a dot pattern on it, which I think is really fun. I like that. Let's see, this one is only $12. That's kind of what I was finding too. This glass wasn't priced super high, but it's so pretty. Sweet little Fenton pieces. I love this color. This one is $12 for the small hobnail vase. A really cute gemstone snowman up here for $25. I actually found a gemstone Santa yesterday at the thrift store, so he's coming home with me. Ooh, that's good. A little mail or toast holder. It's vintage brass. A swan. I kind of love that. He may need to come with me. And we've got ducks and all kinds of bird creatures here. Okay, this fan Fenton vase, I have one in white with the gold crest on it. It's just such a pretty shape. I really like it. They have this one for $25. I love this little Fenton creamer. I have two of them. Very cute, $18. More carnival glass. We've got the herringbone iris pattern here. So pretty. This one's for $18. And then we've got that, I think this is more modern when you get this really kind of oil slick looking. I don't know if it's, yeah, there we go. See that? So that's the point at which my battery died. So now let's go down to carp. They're Old West bottles, starting at just $2. Yeah, $2 and $3 for these bottles. Some really good prices on a variety of china. Little plates, butter pats for $2 or $3. So now I'm in Whimsy, which is fantastic. And look at these paintings. They're $135 each, but they're so cool and beautiful. Lots of eclectic pieces, including this beautiful octagonal box with monkey. Lots of cool art, lots of cool textiles, and it goes to the ceiling. Look at this beautiful piece. Such a great way to use a lot of space to have that ladder there. Oh, you want to go home with me, don't you? This view is so familiar. It's driving down toward Ventura, which I went to several thrift stores there. It was not the best place to do any filming. So I'm going to now head to show you what we got. This channel has definitely seen some changes over the last few months. I've gone from doing a lot of stitching, which I still love, to collecting more than just vintage linens. Some of you have been following my journey and you know that I started collecting all the other things at the estate sales, which led to, of course, sharing them in an antique booth. Because, you know, it's not just buying the cool antiques. It's curating them and putting them together and then offering them to you. That's the fun, you're right? It's the thrill of the hunt, but then it's putting it out there and making it beautiful so that somebody else wants to take it home and give it a new life. So that has become a huge part of what I have been doing over the last several months. And I am just about ready to share it with all of you. So this journey has taken me somewhere unexpected. I have launched my brand as Dottie May Vintage. Now, my grandmother, Dorothy May Gorton Brown, was an amazing lady. She was an interesting lady. She grew up on a farm in Montana, Kalispell, and was born in 1918. She saw the 20s on the farm, saw electricity come to the rural far northwest. She became the wife of a pilot during World War I. My grandfather trained pilots actually in Arizona at Thunderbird Field. So they were there and she was with him and had her first child, my dad. So she was a wife, a mom, and then in the 40s, raising her family, the 50s, raising her family, being a den mother, doing all of the different things. And then with two young boys, my uncles at home, she lost her husband when he was only 47. And then she became an entrepreneur. She and my grandfather had run a couple of businesses, but then she took over a business. It was a taco shop up in Northern California. She employed all the kids in the neighborhood working in Taco Tio. And, she did what she needed to in order to make a living for her and her boys. And when I knew her, she was my young grandma. She was only in her 60s. She was working in the credit department at Robinson's. And she also had a job working at a Hallmark store teaching cake decorating. She was always doing what she needed to do. And when I was a young woman, she gave me something and she said, "You're the businesswoman. You're working. You can make a life." And I've never forgot that. She always called me her oldest because I was the oldest of the 5 granddaughters. She meant a lot to me. The thing that stands out the most about my grandmother is that she told stories. My parents would go sometimes out on a Friday night, and for a few years, she lived near me, just kind of those upper elementary years. And she would tell us stories. She would tell me stories about the farm in Montana, growing up on the farm, not having any shoes, and how cold it was feeding the animals in the winter. She'd tell me about growing up and having barn dances in the barn. And she would tell me all of these stories that made it magical and made it come alive. I have no doubt that storytelling is on both sides of my family. But I do remember a lot of my grandma Dorothy's stories, and they've shaped a lot of who I am. So as I've been taking this journey in antiques and vintage, it's sort of occurred to me that almost everything I sell is from her lifetime. 1918 to 2000. That encompasses a few antiques, the 20s, teens. Mostly what I sell is vintage. It's the stuff that's more than 25 years old, mostly probably more like 50 or 60 years old. And it falls in that mid-century, which was my grandmother's golden era. So a lot of what you see on my channel is going to be from that era. Okay. Now I want to dive in to some finds from my thrift store shopping in California. I just got back from visiting my parents for Thanksgiving, and we had such a great visit. But one of the things that I did while I was there was go with my son and my daughter and my sister. You got to spread it out. You don't want to do it all with one person. That's just too much, right? So anyway, I spread out the thrifting and the antiquing, and I came away with some really cool treasures. So I'm going to share these with you. I am just launching an Etsy store. A few things might be on eBay. I will link them below. But if you see something today and you absolutely want it, let me know in the comments because I will go ahead and list that for you if it's not up already. Okay, let's get started. So, I love shiny things. I love sparkly things. I love things that catch the light or just make a statement. And this ruby flashed glass from Czechoslovakia definitely fits the bill. Probably, it's between the 30s and the 50s. You know, sometimes you can't nail it down more than that. But this piece is so beautiful. Can't you imagine this on your Christmas table, like maybe on a buffet, and then just having a couple of stems of flowers? Some white lilies would look amazing, or some red roses, or really anything you put in here is going to be gorgeous. So this is currently available in my Etsy shop. My next item is something to wear, a little bling for the holidays. Are these not spectacular? They are rhinestone, beaded, glass, gorgeous earrings, and I think they are spectacular. You do not need much more than this with your outfit. They're clip-ons. You could convert them to pierced earrings if you want to. I'm leaving them as clips because sometimes it's nice to not have it pulling. You just kind of clip it on there and it works really well. And that way you can also position it however you want to, which I think kind of works sometimes with these big vintage earrings. These are gorgeous and these will currently be in my Etsy shop. So this next piece is really beautiful. Isn't she lovely? I saw this in a little antique store and it was from a dealer who has been in the business forever and he's selling off his remaining things. I loved this as soon as I saw it. It is an oil painted lacquered box. It's Russian, probably the, let's see, Fedoskino. I'll put it below. But which is the oldest of the different lacquer box making villages. They did these little mini paintings. Her expression is so lovely. And I think that it is just a really charming example. There's a tiny bit of loss of the enamel on the corners, but nothing where you have your main feature. So it's in really beautiful condition. You open it up and you have the red lacquer inside and then just the plain black on the bottom. It is a really gorgeous piece and I think somewhat unique. It's not antique. It is probably from the 60s or 70s. That's when this was really popular and people were buying these, but it is for a winter scene or really for any time. It's just so beautiful. So this beautiful find is going in my Etsy shop and I hope it finds a home with someone who thinks it is as gorgeous as I do. So this next piece I know my grandmother would have loved because she loved her makeup. She had one of those mirrors with the lighting on the sides where you could do daylight or office or whatever and look at what your makeup would look like in the different lights. I loved that mirror when I was a kid. But anyway, I think she would have liked this compact. It is made in West Germany and it features two little girls and their dog. It is so charming. It is in really beautiful condition. And it's the same scene on the back and the front. So you get the same thing. When you open it up, the mirror is in fantastic condition. There's a little bit of wear or just kind of on the side, but not bad. And the mirror looks fantastic. It does have a little sticker and it says made in West Germany. So because of that, we can, you know, it's 1950s, 1960s is the era for this. So you love doggos, you love little Victorian pieces, or you love makeup like my grandmother. This could be the piece for you. Also in the Etsy shop. Okay, so there was house things. You know how it happens. So I'm in a different whole situation, but I am going to finish this video so that you can see all of this cool stuff. All right, so we're gonna dive back in. Check this out. Atomic Starburst, mid-century, cream and sugar. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was coming home. It is so cool looking. I mean, I just am getting the 1950s little kitchen table vibes. It's so cute. And great condition. Only little chip is here on the back of the creamer. But seriously, like, you're not gonna notice that. It looks so cute. So probably 50s, and you could just picture it there. And stoneware, classic speckled glaze, and then these fabulous atomic starbursts. They're just so cute. So perfect Christmas gift for the mid-century aficionado in your life. And the price reflects the fact that it has that little chip. But I mean, seriously, it's in such great condition. So that will be in the Etsy shop as well. I feel like it wouldn't be a vintage Etsy shop if it didn't have some brass in it. Check out this baby. I saw this up on the shelf at the little antique place in Santa Barbara, and isn't she so cute? So you could use this as a letter organizer, or paper organizer on your desk. It's a toast rack, could also go for toast. If you're still putting your toast in an organizer, then you are next level and you need to have this. For me, it would probably be holding some bills, let's be honest. But it could do whatever. Any kind of paper that is in your life would be made so much better if it had this swan holding it. So we're going to put that in the Etsy shop. It's such a nice size. It's definitely kind of heavy because it is brass, but it's a nice size. It's not massive. Okay, so brass swan, letter/toast holder, mid-century, I'm guessing between the 50s and the 70s. There's not a good way to tell exactly when it's made, but you've got that mid-century vibe. All right, so that's going in the Etsy shop also. Perfect little accent for somebody in your life who likes swans. There you go. Okay, the next little set, I saw them and I just loved the look. Aren't these beautiful? We have a cream and sugar, and it's clearly pressed glass. It's got the seams in it in a really pretty condition. So I started researching this set, and I am pretty sure that they are really old, real antiques. I think maybe between 1890 and 1910. Everything I could find put them as the button arches, bullseye with ruby flash. Now, there's a Franciscan version of something similar, but it's not this. That one's from the 60s. This one, I am pretty sure, is the original kind of ruby flash where, with ruby flash, they stained it on there. Usually you get some loss around the edges. This is really good. It's just so pretty. Can't you just picture this on Valentine's Day or really anything? If you've got a pink accent in your kitchen, so beautiful. So this little set, it was popular during the Victorian era. This is like having something that I think looks really current, but is 100 years old. Aren't antiques and vintage things so cool? I love touching history. It's amazing. So, I am not a total expert. I am learning as I go, but I did research and I really do think these are old. So I will have this cream and sugar, perfect for somebody in your life who just likes a little bit of sparkle. And those will be in Etsy as well. Final piece. Hello. This is Cousin Ribby. If you are a Beatrix Potter fan, you may know that. So this was from Beswick's collection of Beatrix Potter figures, 1970 on this one. And she is in phenomenal condition. All the little details. Here's the info on the bottom, if you would like to look at that. So hand-painted ceramic figure. If you know Beswick, England, you know that they are the really high end of these little figures. I have a corgi that I'm going to put in my Etsy shop soon. It is so cute. But anyway, we've got we've got Beatrix Potter's cousin Ribby at this point. I did think about saving her till spring. Of course I did. I mean, she's spring, right? Easter, perfect little decor item. But you might have a Beatrix Potter fan in your family that you want to gift this to for Christmas. And so I am putting her in now. Yeah. So you can find her in my Etsy shop. All right, friends. Oh, we did it. You guys do not know how long I have been trying to make this first video. I don't know why it's so hard. If you are a reseller, you know why it's hard. I don't know. I'll get there. I'll get in a rhythm. But I really wanted to share a few things from my collection with you before Christmas. So here's the first assortment. And I am going to be adding to the collection, so there will be more to look at. But for right now, there you go. Some really cool mid-century pieces, even a couple of antiques. Something for a few different discerning people on your list. I wanted to give you one closing little idea. Okay, this piece of super bling is a little brooch that I picked up, I think at an estate sale. It might have been a thrift store. I'm always looking for pretty little brooches like this. And as you see, I just hung it on a necklace. You know, I don't wear a ton of things with lapels, so I don't always have a place to put a brooch, but a lot of these, and it doesn't even have a conversion thing on the back. I just simply clipped it on to a little chain. So just a little tip. If you have some cool little brooches and you're not sure how to style them, they make a fantastic statement necklace. So there you go. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me today. And I will be looking forward to seeing you very soon in my next video. Thanks so much for stopping by Dottie May Vintage, and we'll see you soon.